All right. So we'll just start the session, and our session will be joining soon. So hello everyone, greetings of the day. The authors and invited guests, welcome to our technical session 9E. Myself Prashi, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastics, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 11th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Intelligent Systems, ICTIS 2026, Bangkok, Thailand. The 11th edition of this conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event will be held tomorrow in Bangkok, Thailand, and the virtual events is being held through Zoom from 9th to 11th of April 2026. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be giving 10 minutes for the presentations and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On the 9th minute, I will be raising a gentle reminder. There is another request to all our participants that you stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any queries or any updates, then you can write it to me in the chat box given down below. Just before we start our session, I would like to introduce you all to the chair of our session, Dr. Satish S. Bannett. Dr. Satish is currently working as an associate professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering Department AI, Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune, India. He has published 34 research papers in various journals and 17 papers in various national and international conferences. He's a reviewer of reputed national and international journals. His area of interest include data mining, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, IoT, and software engineering. We welcome you to the session, sir. Before we start, would you like to say a few words to encourage our participants today?
Yeah, thank you. Yes. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the presenters that they are going to present the paper in this renowned ICTIS in 11th International Conference. So wish you all the best. And just it's very interesting for me also that I want to show your research work. I'm very happy. So wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words. Now, I would like to introduce you all to our second session chair as well.
Hello, Ms. Pesci. I'm on behalf of my authorship team.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And I will be
Okay, on
the
behalf of
representative of the team.
Dr. Nirul. Okay, sir. Okay. Still, I would like to introduce our session chair. Sir, as sir said, he's on behalf of our session chair. However, I would like to let you know about our session chair. Dr. Nirul is a lecturer in the Department of Elementary School Teacher Education at Universities Negeri, Surabaya, Indonesia. With over 10 years of experience in teaching and academic leadership, her work focuses on education, technology, and media, culture, and digital literacy, computation, thinking, and educational philosophy, promoting innovative and inclusive approaches to teaching and learning. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on her behalf. Now, without any delays, I would like to call upon our first presenter for this meeting. Our first presenter is Maxine Hu, presenting a paper on the title, Assessment and Optimization Strategy of Thailand's Fruit Export Competitiveness to China. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I will show. Good afternoon, everyone. My research topic is assessment and optimization strategy of Thailand food export competitiveness to China. The global agriculture bill has increased by 89 projects in the past 20 years, and with agriculture, trade measure, and FNL growth rate of 4%. Thailand as an agricultural powerhouse control experiment 11.6% of GDP from agriculture, and with food export accounting for 22.6% of total agriculture export. So Thailand food export is in 2024 export fell is the 6.51 billion, and the major fruit is durian, longo mature. And Thailand play a significant role in global food trend, and China is the largest export market for Thailand food, and the durian demand or the Chinese market benefit from the regional comprehensive economic partnership. And with the key challenges, high logistic costs and aging competition from other countries, ensure for brand ecology. And my research question is what's the current standard Thai food and Thai food export to China? What challenges does Thai food export face? And how can Thailand optimize its export strategy for food in the Chinese market? With the offer of global food trend in 2019, the global food trend fell increased by approximately 16% with its twins the growth rate of global agricultural trade, and the export fell of tropical fruit such as mango and mango and growth remained significant, accounting for an important share of global food exports. And the countries such as Mexico, Vietnam, and Thailand and Philippines have become major exporters. China and Hong Kong is a significant market for global food import. And with the third of competitive advantage is four key factors of competitiveness and the factor condition and the demand condition related to supply industry and for strategic rail. And with the ideal influence, government policies and the change environment. So my research is used to assess Thailand food export competitiveness. And my research design with the data collection and process data collection use UN content and with the HS chapter A is ideal food and not. With the comparative analysis force key comparison in China's choice food market. With the first one is Thailand and the Philippines, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Myanmar. Data include the trend stand for food export from these countries to China from 2020 to 2025 or 2024. With the definition of food trades, this is chapter A. And though when we finish the data correlation with the data analysis with export growth data and the market share with the refill competitive identity index with the competitive analysis. So my research result with the first one is the comparison of Thai food export to China. The export sales of Thai food to China in 2024 is 16.17 is in billion. And with a market share of Thai export in China with the 2025 is the 67.09 project. And with the referred comparative analysis is in 2024 is the 60.37. With the comparative analysis of exports, say China and countries is in the Thai is very big. So with the to find the Thai fault, what happened with the key insurer in Thailand for export to China with the intelligent market compression and the support time verge and the standard beer and the ledger bread development. So based theories way to find what's the meaning in the Thai food is factor condition is the natural resource and the climate risk and the register and the influence issue and ripple and the technology and the shortcoming and the demand condition is the use unacceptable demand in the Chinese market. Increase for the self requirement and relate and the supply industry. In the can logistics sector and the ledger for process and the protein technology and the local architecture technology information. With the French strategy and the refill is instead of border building and the matter pyramid and the portion quantitative strategy emerging experts in test market competition. So with the law of government, what happened is they ensure the government policy support and resisting labor costs. So we have issue in the Thai port. So we have a strategy with a stable, smart fair and the development of the air port exports and the care for the trace of the Thailand brand. And it's establishing the Thailand for the Indo-AL and the develop the process for that. And with the conclusion is the key factor to answer my research question is the Thai food exports have grown significantly and make sure receive from the 10.97 project in 2018 through to 67.09 project in 2024. And export and hair depend on China and a few products like Dorian's poison likes to its long-term sustainable ability. And the Thailand major Australian conference advance in China's choice fourth factor. This is but faced changes such as free supply chain and regional competition, FN corner standard and work hand recognition. With weakness in inclusive in self in investment in deployment and development called change logistics, government strategy and limitation government support. With my strategy is going portion with smart frame and improve logistical and strategy brand strategy. Optimization in data governance and devices into process for trade. So, thank you very much. I finish.
Okay. So, in your research work, that what strategies can Thailand adopt to move from volume-based to value-based fruit exports? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, because I think with the strategy with the smart of smarter architecture and with the airport can to the more fruit go to China and within China have the same strategy.
Okay. So what are Chinese consumer preferences for imported fruits, and how do Thai fruits meet these preferences?
Yeah, yeah, because the China people is like durian. So the Thai durian is I know maybe it's all go to the China because
Okay.
I like the durian.
Okay. Good. Nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Dr. Hadi, do we have any questions from your end, sir?
Okay. My questions, is there any barriers of is there any obstacles when doing this research, especially about the effectiveness of is about the optimization strategy on Thailand fruits export to China. So is there
Yeah,
any
yeah.
obstacles? And do you think that the threat do you think that the customers between the countries effect to this strategy? We know that the numbers of Chinese peoples is the first highest population in the world. Does it affect to your strategy assessment?
Before I think, I to say about the China people to buy the fruit is with durian and wait, longgong. So in China, some people to buy the durian will to say, oh, where from? It's the maybe the durian is can go to Thailand, I can go to the Myanmar and the other country. But in China, the people is like Thailand durian is more. So I have the data. It's about with the compare other country. It's the Thai fruit is the best more.
Okay. Well, thank you for your answer. Because talking about the durian, in Indonesia also the durian lovers, yeah, in the durian lovers is so many.
Yeah.
But the best durian type is from your country. Let's say here is durian Bangkok. So this is one of the highest the most expensive one in Indonesia. So I think it is a very good research to do. While in Indonesia right now, let's say food defense, yeah, is one of the priority of the country. Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Yusan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will think.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now I would like to call upon our next presenter. Our next presenter is Sheng Sheng, presenting our paper on the title Breaking Through in Visibility, a new sustainable marketing path for culture tourism integration at the Dazu Rock Carving. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please. As my Sheng Sheng is not there, so we'll just ask the next presenter, Jean Peng, presenting a paper on the title Crisis Management and a Strategic Failure, a case study of Evergrande's survival struggles under China's regulatory shift. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please. Ms. Peng. Ms. Peng, are we ready with the presentation? I request you to kindly unmute yourself, as we cannot hear you. Yes, now we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
我先打开。那什么？Hello everyone. My name is
Hello.
Cheng. Today I will present our project titled "Awakening the Stone," an innovative control tourist marketing strategy for the Dazuru cabins. Tourist marketing strategy for the Dazuru. This project explores how cultural heritage can be retail source, control tourist integration, and innovative marketing strategy allowed action control sites to region vacancy in the modern tourism industry. With the development of the cultural tourism industry, each heritage sites have become important drivers and regional increase. The Dazuru cabin, which date back more than 17th century years, are recognized as the World Cultural Heritage Site and a Nation 5A level tourism attractions. What makes the unique is the integration of tourism, convenience, and tourism, which gives the convenience and the tourism and the control value. However, compared with other well-known great heritage sites in China, such as the Mogao and the Longmen Shiku, the Dazuru cabins that face challenges in the term of vast number, tourist product diversity, and breed influence. In such years, the site get temporal policies due to control trees, such as a video game Black Mice, 悟空 with audit many younger birds. However, when the online policy delays, the number of tourist sites quickly delays again. This case that the destination still lacks a stable long-term marketing strategy and a strong bird influence. Therefore, our project purpose of series of Irving the Stone with elements to attractive the cultural value of the road carving through innovation and expect and modern combination strategy. Our research tested the challenge. First, limited control international masters. Most vectors mailing faster in traditional setting, and the look of the instructor experience makes it difficult of tourists to deeply understand the control meaning of the cabins. Second, our reliance on short-term into portraiting oral online streams can bring tempo after the distance. That continues content the product innovation to satisfy growth, side insights. In force of control tourist industry chain, the cooperation between the sector and the state industry, such as quality, accommodation, and the cultural element product, remains relatively weak. This isolates as short west limited tourist cost strategy to address the product. This project profits their main strategy. First, control IP activities. The Dazuru cabin relaxes the integration of breeding confusion and the tourism, which provides a strong cultural foundation for stereotypes. By discerning cultural roots, digital interpretation systems, and cultural creative products, the destination can transfer culture heritage into engaged tourist experience. Second, immersive experience innovation. Digital techniques such as AR and VR can be used to restore and acknowledge upgrades of the carving and images. The cover process, in addition, night light show and the interactive cultural impact can inspire younger visitors. Third, innovative marketing and broad communication, and integration online and offline marketing strategy should be developed. Online platforms such as Douyin, Xiaohongshu, and Bilibili can be used to show culture, second, and travel content. Offline events such as 大族语 carving culture is and author can enhance as digital board and innovation. In conclusion, awakening the store is not only a market but also a cultural reflexive through cultural IP development, remote tourism excels, and intermix. And 大族语 carrying interest from the translation sets. In the long term, on the application can important countries will vigilance. Thank you very much for your attention. 姐，去哪儿？去哪儿？
Very interesting topic for these reasons. Okay, so may I ask the questions?
Yes.
Miss Chang, yeah.
Yes.
So, Miss Chang, first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for your interesting topic, actually about the culture, yeah, about the heritage, the traditional heritage of heritage at the Zurich carvings, and you also use the technology to promote this heritage, right? Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my question, sometimes when we talk about the heritage, we also talking about the conservation. Is that true?
Thanks for your question, but I think a little.
Okay, so because this is a traditional heritage, so we have the responsibility to preserve,
yes.
to keep this.
Yes.
Yeah, to preserve and to keep this. So my question is practical. Yeah, so it is very practical questions. My question is very practical. So how does your proposed strategy consider tourism market dynamic and visitor behavior? Could the increased visibility and tourism activity pose or show the risk to the conservation of the Zurich carving?
Yes, it needs.
Okay, can you elaborate the questions and the answer, please?
Yes, it needs.
What about the preventions of visitors' behavior?
Thank you for your question.
You know,
I will work with my team.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Satis, please.
Yeah.
Very nice presentation. Thank you.
So my question is that why were the primary cause of the financial crisis faced by the China Evergrande Group? Okay.
You can speak again.
So what were the primary cause of the financial crisis faced by China Evergrande Group?
Excuse me, sir. This is not the second student presentation. The Evergrande is the next presentation, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay. Have you find the result then? Can you show me the result of your paper? Research work? Result analysis?
Sorry, I need help.
Okay, okay. What are the limitations? What are the limitations?
It could be causing in future research.
So the author, also the corresponding author. So for the limitation of this research, currently we're submitting two papers, two manuscripts for this conference, and the limitations for this paper, for the first manuscript, is we do not have that much time. I mean, the duration for conduct the first-hand data collection. That is our biggest limitation for this.
So what are the major research gaps you have found out?
First manuscript, sir.
What are the
Yes, sir.
major research gaps you have found out?
Research gaps, right? So as for the committee mentioned about the prevention or the conservation, I think nowadays the government trying to promote the commercial benefits rather than the prevention for the heritage site. So this is the biggest research gap currently happened in my study area, sir.
Okay. Oh, good work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I would like to call upon our next presenter. Again, I would like to call Ms. Peng, presenting a paper on the title Crisis Management and Strategic Failure. I request you to kindly please take over with your presentation. Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to share with you my master research on the topic that has captured global attention, the collapse of China Evergrande Group. When we hear about a giant company failing, we often think they must have run out of the money. But the Evergrande story tells us something far more profound. It wasn't just about money. It was about bad judgment and wrong strategic moves. My research asked one central question: why did Evergrande survive strategies fail under continuing regulatory pressure? Over the next 10 minutes, I will walk you through the background, the crisis timeline, the root causes, and the lessons we can all learn from this epic failure. Okay, now let's begin. For decades, China's real estate industry operated on the simple formula: borrow, build, and sell fast. Developers used high leverage to acquire land, construct projects, and repay loans with pre-sale income. It was a golden age until it wasn't. In August 2020, the Chinese government introduced the Three Red Lines policy, a set of rules that kept the developers their two asset ratios, net gearing and cash to short-term debt coverage. Suddenly, the inter-business model that had fueled growth for years became unsustainable. As I like to put it, developers used to borrow and build. Then they couldn't borrow anymore. Many developers faced a liquidity crisis. But Evergrande, once China's largest developer by sales, became the most dramatic casualty. So, why did Evergrande fail while others managed to survive. That's the puzzle I set out to solve. To analyze this, I adopted the crisis management perspective. The framework is straightforward. Policy shock, managerial perception, strategic response, crisis evaluation. The key idea is that strategic failure often results from misjudging crisis signals and delaying responses. It's not the crisis itself that kills companions, it's how they react to it. I conducted a quantitative single case study of Evergrande, covering the period from 2020 to 2024. As you see, my data come from this secondary data. Now, let's walk through the crisis timeline, and we divided it into 4 phases. Phase 1, policy introduction by 2020. When the 3 Reliance policy was announced, Evergrande's initial response was what I call fake deliveration. They reported that reduction on paper while secretly continued to borrow through off-balance sheet vehicles and complex financial structures. There was no real change, just a cosmetic compliance. Phase 2, cash flow crisis. By mid-2021, cash flow dried up, suppliers stopped getting paid, construction slowed, and the rumors began swirling. Evergrande's leadership responded with denial and delay, insisting it was just a temporary liquidity issue. Phase 3, trust collapsed by late 2021, then came the tipping point. Evergrande's wealth products sold to ordinary investors defaulted. When people realized they couldn't get the money back, trust evaporated completely. In a highly leveraged business, trust is everything. Once it's gone, recovery becomes nearly impossible. Phase 4 finally collapsed by 2022 to 2024. Debt restructuring efforts dragged on for years, but ultimately failed. In early 2024, the Hong Kong court ordered liquidation. The company that once symbolized the China's real estate boom was effectively dead. So, why did Evergrande strategic fail? My analysis identified 4 critical strategic failures. Failure 1, window dressing. Evergrande leadership thought they could fool regulators with cosmetic changes. They pretended to cut debt while secretly expanding borrowing through hidden channels. They treated regulation as a game to be played, not a single to be hated. Failure 2, strategic misjudgment. Leadership believed they could wait out the regulatory storm, expanding policy relaxation. They underestimated the government resolve and overestimated the own political capital. By the time they realized this wasn't temporary, it was too late. Failure 3, diversification trend. Instead of focus on the core business, Evergrande poured billions into unrelated ventures, electric vehicles, boat water, football clubs, theme parks. Evergrande Auto alone burns through millions with almost nothing to show for it. When your core business is under pressure, diversification into unfamiliar territory isn't a risk management, it's a risk multiplication. Failure 4, government abandonment. Here's the harshest lesson. Many expected a bailout. After all, Evergrande was too big to fail, but the government made a conscientious choice. They let Evergrande fail. They stabilized the house market by protecting human bias, and ensuring unfinished projects were completed. But they let the company itself die. Why? Because making Evergrande an example sent a powerful message. Compliance isn't optional. Reform isn't temporary. So, what are the key takeaways from this case? First, symbolic delivery doesn't work. If you don't genuinely reduce risk, you are just kicking the can down the road, and the road eventually ends. Second, strategic misjudgment or policy direction can be visual. In regulated industries, policy isn't background noise, it's the main event. Third, diversification amplifies risk rather than reduce it. When your core business is struggling expanding into unknown areas, it's like trying to put out a fire by pouring gasoline on it. Fourth, government intervention stabilized the social risk, but couldn't and wouldn't save the farm. There's a difference between protecting the system and protecting individual players. Okay, now let's turn to the lesson for other firms. What can managers learn from Evergrande's failure? Lesson 1, watch policy signals. Watch policy signals. Regulator changes often provide early warning signals. Companies must monitor policy changes and prepare proactively. Actionable takeaway: establish a policy monitoring system, build a scenario planning capabilities. Don't wait until regulation hits you, and anticipate it. Lesson 2, cash is key. In times of uncertainty, liquidity is the ultimate survival tool. Growth ambitions must be balanced with financial readiness. Maintain health cash reserves. Prioritize sustainable cash flow. You need to survive first, grow later. And the lesson 3, act fast. Delayed response to crisis is often visual. Early intervention provides more options and better outcomes. Actionable takeaway: develop repeat decision-making process. Create dedicated crisis response teams. When you see problems, fix them early. Don't wait to them to fix themselves. Okay, now let's go to my conclusion. Evergrande was not just a company that ran out of money. It was a company that ran out of judgment. It misread the environment, doubled down on wrong strategies, and delayed action until action became impossible. The ultimate lesson: industry transformation, adaptability beats scale. No matter how big you are, if you cannot adapt, you will not survive. Okay, that's all. Thank you. If you have any question and feedback, I always welcome. Send this email. Thank you.
Dr. Nurul, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Satish. So yeah, the title of this paper is Crisis Management and Strategic Failure. My question is that simple. I want to ask about the data collection technique and also the data analysis. So how was the data collected and analyzed in the study? That's the first questions. And if you may suggest for your finding, yeah, what should the company, what should the company do to face this crisis based on your finding? Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, uh, according to this case, according to the literature review and some report and according to the social media data, yeah, this data according to the secondary data.
Okay, so the secondary data that you analyze.
Yeah.
And so what can you conclude for your secondary data collection? What did you analyze? And from the analysis, you get the finding. The
Pardon?
finding of from your analysis, you get the conclusion of your research. The next question is, after you get the conclusion of your paper, what should you, is there any recommendations for the company or maybe for the next researchers to do?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. My current research focuses on understanding the current situation. Yeah. And now, next I will conduct a SWOT analysis next.
Okay. So, Ms. Yang, 2 or 3 questions. So, what role did government intervention play in influencing the company's restructuring outcomes?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I would like
Thank
to
you.
call upon our next presenter. Thank you. Now, next presenter is Xinxiang Zheng, presenting a paper on the title Cultural Positioning and Strategic Sustainability, a case study of a regional new style milk tea brand in China. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Xixuan Ge from College Graduate Study in Management at Hongyan University, Thailand. Today, I will present my research, Cultural Positioning, Strategic Sustainability, a case study of regional new style milk tea brand in China. This study focused on how a regional tea brand, Tayan Yuese, also known as Sexy Tea, views competitive advantage for cultural branding and strategic development. So China is one of the largest tea producing countries in the world, and tea has been an important part of China's culture for centuries. In recent years, the new style tea beverage industry has developed rapidly. This growth is driven by rising income, urbanization, and changes in nutrition that contribute with modern ingredients and active Tea is one of the most widely consumed non-alcoholic beverages in the world. In China, tea culture emphasizes harmony, mutual and social interaction. Traditionally, tea can be divided into 6 types, including green tea, black tea, oolong, white tea, yellow tea, and dark tea. New style tea beverage combine traditional tea culture with modern ingredients, such as milk, fruit, create health puddings. These drinks are highly popular among young consumers and are often promoted through social media and via marketing. Although the industry has grown rapidly, it's now facing several challenges. The market is become saturated. The many products are very similar. Competition between brands has intensified and reduced profit margins. Many brands have expanded rapidly, leading to high store density and increasing operational pressure. As a result, some stores have already closed. Therefore, developing sustainable competitive strategies has become essential for tea brands. In this case, I select Yan Yuese as his company. This brand was founded in Changsha, Hunan Province, China. It focused on traditional bread Chinese tea bases combined with milk, whipped cream that also have some nuts on the top, sweeteners, and classic natural flavor ingredients, as well as with Asian-style packaging and poetic product names. It's hoping to share beauty of tea. The brand is very popular among young consumers because of the unique flavor and strong cultural identity. Unlike many competitors, the company adopts a localized development strategy, mainly focused on the Changsha City, Hunan Province. Rather than expanding rapidly across over China. This scarcity increased customer curiosity and tourism demand. It also allowed the brand to maintain product quality and build a strong brand image. Nowadays, Yuan operates mainly in several provinces, including Hubei, Jiangsu, Hunan, and one municipality, Chongqing. The main objective of this research is to analyze the market strategy of Thailand USE, also to examine the company's product innovation and brand design, to study its market promotion and channel management strategies, to evaluate the company's sustainable competitive advantage in new style tea market. The new style tea industry currently faces several major challenges. First, market becomes increasingly saturated. Second, entry barrier is relatively low, meaning new competitors can easily enter the market. Third, many products are similar, leading to product homogenization. As a result, competition among tea brands has become increasingly intense. This study adopts qualitative research approach. The research is mainly based on literature review and secondary data analysis, including academic articles, industry reports, and market research publications. In addition, the study used SWOT analysis to examine the strengths, weaknesses, which are the internal factors, and also opportunities and threats, the external factors that influencing the development of the company. So for the strengths, Pioneer should continue investing from financial support and integrated supply chain. Self-built production and supply chain system improve cost control, product quality, operational efficiency. Also, the conservative expansion and risk control. The cautious store expansion strategy helps maintain service quality, brand reputation, and sustainable growth. And also, the brand culture and product identity. Integration of Chinese culture, regional aesthetics, and regional characteristics strengthen brand recognition and customer loyalty. They also have strong regional brand influence. Limited invention enhance brand exclusivity and position the company as a symbol of Changsha, Hunan province. It's also China has some weakness. The difficulty maintain brand advantage, increasing competition and emergence of similar culturally themed brands have intensified product modernizations. The limited geographic expansion compared with competitors such as KT and Haji, the expansion of Taiyuan is relatively slow and concentrated in a limited number of cities. The restricts its national brand exposure and market share growth. The management capacity constraints. Leadership acknowledged its limitation in management capacity and organization expansion slowed business growth. The leadership influence on strategic development. The attitude and decision of leadership significantly affect strategic planning, employee management, and long-term company development. For the opportunities, China's economic growth and raising consumption, increasing income level, and changing lifestyle, especially among young consumers, create a strong demand for new style tea beverage. Also, the expansion of new style tea market, growing popularity of the tea beverage industry provide opportunities for market growth, brand expansion. The cultural branding advantage, regional culture help differentiate the brand in a competitive market. Potential for multi-channel and regional expansion, strong customer loyalty supports opportunity for online sales, digital platforms, and cross-regional market expansion. But still have some threats for Thailand US. The intensified industry competition, the new style tea market has become highly competitive and increasingly saturated, changing in consumer preference. Rising demand for healthier beverage and energy drinks may reduce demand for traditional milk tea products. The limitation in product homogenization. Competitors increasingly imitate cultural branding and product concepts, meaning differentiation, and also the shift toward experience-based competition. Brands now compete for environment.
Excuse me, ma'am. We have crossed our 9-minute mark. I request you to kindly conclude as soon as possible, please.
The findings show that China's new style tea industry has evolved rapidly over the past decade. Industry has shifted from low-cost mid-range to products made with fresh tea and high-quality ingredients. Competition is no longer based only on product taste, but also on brand image, cultural identity, and emotional marketing. Many companies are also investing in supply chain, digital ordering system, product innovation. So, in conclusion, China's new style tea industry is entering a mature and highly competitive stage. Competition is shifting from simple product competition to consumer experience and brand culture. The success of Thailand is largely due to its localization strategy, cultural branding, and consumer branding. By combining traditional tea culture with modern consumer trends, the company has created strong brand differentiation. Based on the research findings, several recommendations can be made. First, different shows strengthen cultural branding by integrating local culture in their products. Second, companies should carefully balance version and quality control with entering the market. Finally, firms will continue to invest in product innovation and digital operations to meet changing consumer demands. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Here to present my research today. I will be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Very nice presentations. Thank you for your nice and clear presentation, Ms. Ming. Yeah. Only one questions. So you talk about the milk tea brand. So this is the question. So what is your main? What is your main? Hello. What is the main cultural element that makes this? Okay, let me repeat. What is the main cultural element? Hello? Okay, can I repeat my questions? So what
Sorry,
is
I
the
cannot
main?
hear anything. Sorry.
Hello, Tess, can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, now I can hear.
Okay, thank you. So what is the main cultural element that makes this milk tea brand very unique? compared to another brands?
So in like
Because you mentioned
yeah.
in your presentations about SWOT analysis.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about the uniques of this brand.
So for other milk tea, they focus on the milk, not focus on the tea. And also they use like toppings to attract customer. But for Chai is focusing on the tea. They have different like type of tea and with like fruit or something to share. The mainly is about to share the taste of the tea. Like they're trying to tell us tea can be so tasty with the milk, but not focus on the milk.
Thank you for your answer.
Thank you for your
So this
question.
the uniqueness is on the taste, not in the like, well, let's say the packaging, adding the toppings.
Yeah, on the unique on the tea, and also they have like for the milk tea, they gave them very beautiful names in China's poem. Like it's very like aesthetic. And also before
Aesthetic.
it only opened in Changsha, so it attract a lot of visitors just want to try the tea because it also tastes very good.
So it is not served in another regions. It is only in special region, right?
Yeah, now it's only like they have stores only in 3 provinces and 1 municipality.
Okay.
Not
Thank
like
you.
crossover China.
Okay, thank you.
Province.
Thank you, Miss Mason. Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing, my question is a basic question that what is the relationship between brand authenticity and long-term profitability?
I feel like it's like the product quality is very important. Like you attract customer, but you definitely want customer to come back with like you have like a sustainable growth in the future. So for me, I feel like the quality is like once you open the store, you provide the milk tea, but you have to control your tea. Also, they have like if you try the tea, the taste not good, they can change to a new one to you for free. So that's like what they are trying to do to have like a very good development.
Okay. Next question is that what unique value propositions can be created in cultural storytelling and localization?
I think is I think it's like it's both like the brand and also I think it also with the government and the customer. It's like the relationship between customer and the brand. It's like both are important if that's your answer your question.
Okay, no, nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now I would like to call upon our next presenter, Qazi Asif Ahmed, presenting a paper on the title Ensemble Transfer Learning with Logistic Regression Metaclassifier and Explainable AI for Detecting Potato Leaves Diseases. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please. Hello,
Is the
sir.
mic open? Is the mic open?
Yes, sir, your mic is open.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Qazi Asif Ahmed. I'm here to present my research based on ensemble transfer learning with logistic regression, meta classifier, and explain AI for detecting potato diseases. So potatoes are one of the most important crops around the world. Although potatoes play a key role in our economic development, several plant diseases are very harmful for cultivation and cause economic loss. The two main diseases that affects potatoes are early blight and late blight. Early blight is caused by Alternaria Solani. Red blight is caused by eggs which leaves are affected by any diseases manually. This process is time consuming and results many error. Again, artificial intelligence has brought revolutionary changes in image-based research, which has led very positive outcomes in areas such as precise agriculture practice, image techniques in medical science, and disease detection very well. In this study, we introduced disease affected potato leaves by adopting ensemble-based learning, which is based on AI and used gradcam technique for explainability of it. So the relative works of our research are adopted here. First of all, we can see that a customized convolutional neural network was adapted for 13 disease-affected areas, and healthy leaves are proposed by Soldabazev and others. Their model had achieved 93% accuracy, 6% accuracy, and Ja and others took 800 and 507 of images of potato leaves and use stacking, ensemble, and transform learning models like MobileNet, Inception, and others, and achieve 98.86.6 accuracy. And Verma and others use 50 potato disease leaf disease images and use CNN for identify classes of this, and their model had achieved 97 accuracy. And there are several related works we can see here. Hybrid model was used by Khan and others. They used efficient V2 and achieved 97.33% accuracy detecting diseases. So, and Cattle and Rees and others use multi-headed attention mechanism, deployed separable technique, and use SBM model for this and gained 99.3 point accuracy and detected healthy potato leaves and diseased potato leaves. So the overall methodology of our work is here. The first of all, we collected data that we processed and normalized. Then we applied transfer learning techniques and simple models at AI, and we did model evaluation and GradCam for technique for more image visualizations. So here is the overall roadmap what we done. First of all, we collected the data of 1500 images. There are three types of data: healthy images, late blight images, and early blight images. Then we resize the image for our models of AI. Then we normalized it and augmented it for better generation of images. Then we use transform language processing, and with the predictions of this, we adopted meta classifier as logic integration, and this is improved our performance with for model evaluation. We used precision recall score, and for explanatory we used GradCam. So here is the part of our data collection. We practically did not collect the data. We collected the data from a Kaggle repository, that is potato leaf disease detection dataset named, and the dataset includes 15,000, so 1,500 total images, and there are three types of data given, and we can see in figure 2 the images of each type of data. The healthy images are there are no brown phases. Late early blights there are scattered brown phases, and in late blights there are more brown phases there. So for data preposition, we use resize the images, converted in numerical tensor for model training, pixel, and for augmented data we used rotation techniques, and for data training and test and validation we divided the data into 17, 15, and 15 ratio. So for transfer learning model, we used EfficientNet V0, TraceNet 50, VZ16, MobileNet V2. These are the transfer learning technique used. We obtained a model in two phases. First phase, we did not freeze, we did not unfreeze the convolution layers, but in the second phase, we unfreeze the convolution for better feature learning and predictions. So after transfer learning, we adopted ensemble modeling and we used logistic regression as laser classifier. From the figure, we can see that the outcome of the 4 models has been fed into the logistic regressions, and this is done on the validity performance of the 4 models on validation sets. And then we get the ensemble output, which recognizes our work. So here is the result and discussion part. We can see that there are 4 models, basic models, and for ensemble model, we told you earlier that we used ensemble modeling, and for this we used logistic regression. We can see that the 4 base models did perform well. Some models did not perform well, but the ensemble model performed very well with 99.4% at accuracy. And we can see that the model training and loss curve, and this is a very converged model. Then the confusion matrix, which tells us about which model, which images are identified well with the help of models. And we can see that in our test validation data, there are 225 images in each set, each class, sorry. And we can see that most of the classes of images are classified accordingly with the help of this highly performed model. So here is the class-wise precision, recall, and FRA scores, and there we can see that the results are very well when the ensemble model are adapted, and we all get class-wise well performed. Here we discussed performance of our work with other datasets and others' works, and we can see that Verma and Khan and Cartel and others also use the same dataset, but our approach has gained more good result better than Cartel and Reese almost catch our results, but we somehow are far from them. Here is the explainability of our model's performance. We can see from the left side of the A section that there is the original image, and when we the model there is a heat map that generates based on the model performance, and we can see there are more red or brownish area are seen, while disease affected images are seen. We can see that red phases are on the places where there are most affected areas, both for late blight disease and early blight leaf disease. But in healthy life disease, there is no red heat map in seen because there is no affected areas. So the models shows that when we visualize it, we can see that some places are affected by the disease and some places are not, and it is classified accordingly. So here is the conclusion. We proposed a model for transplant landing potato leaf diseases. There are 4 models. Our models achieve 94% accuracy. For future work, we'll focus on real field testing. We'll increase more dataset. Datasets are really rare to find these diseases, and there are some benchmark to follow. Larger datasets will be followed, and additional evolution metrics for better results or robustness will be adopted. Here is the reference of the paper, and thank you for listening my presentation.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Kazi, come to the result slide.
Okay. Here is the result and discussion slides.
Just wait. So mostly just I want to ask you one thing, that what is the most major research gaps you find out?
Cannot understand the question. Can you repeat, sir, please?
What is the major research gap you will find out as per the
major and in my work, I found that most of the researchers did not use the ensemble model. The ensemble model means that we collected more results of different models and use their resultant, and based on it we created another model so that the performance can get better. So most of the researcher used only basic models, and their performance is quite understanding, and most of them did not show the visualization technique that we use GradCam to show which their performance are valid or not. That's the research.
So which data set you are used? Which data set have you used?
Data set I used for the data set is potato leaf disease detection data set. It's
Okay,
a
what is the
data set.
wait. Almost 1,500 images into 3 classes. Okay, so what is the impact of using logistic regression as a meta classifier on classification accuracy and generalization?
For meta classifier, as I use logistic regression has its own technique to identify the decision boundaries and tell which images in one class and another. After we can use different types of logistic meta classifiers like stacking and others. For initially we used logistic regression and we got the result. For better
Okay.
explainability, we can
If
use
we're
more.
talking about the data set and pre-processing, so
Yes.
my last question is that how do data set size, class imbalance, and image quality affect the model performance?
So if the model, if for example, if I take that the class imbalance is there more, as I have taken the balanced class, then most of the prediction will goes to the higher count of images and lower count of images will be misclassified. So we adopted augmentation for in our case the images are all balanced, but for models base performance some rotated, flipped, and for
Okay.
better image generation we used.
Very good work, Mr. Pai. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, questions? Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm.
Can you hear me?
Hearing, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
Okay.
hearing, sir.
So my questions, why did you choose logistic regression as the meta classifier in your model? Very basic questions.
Actually, sir, I tend to use a different classifier. Like there are several ensemble modeling, like stacking, boosting, gradient, and as for no, we have a plan. We are working still on this project. We are taking different classifiers. First of all, we used only logistic regression to check whether our technique is well or not. So as far when we adopted logistic regression and worked on the basic of it, we got a greater result than the previous studies we can see here in this slide. So after that, we think that logistic regression is well adapted, and logistic regression on our works on the regression decision classifier and other techniques. So we adopted this, but we have a plan to use other classifier also, like stacking technique, ensemble modeling, and KNN, SVM, and others technique too. That's we used it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you so much,
Very
sir
clear.
KIC. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call upon our next presenter for the session. Our next presenter for this session is again Ms. Sheng Sheng, presenting a paper on the title Marketing Plans for Dazu Rock Carvings via the Perspective of Cultural and Tourism Integration. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chen Cheng. Today I will present marketing planning for the sustainable development of Dazuru carving through control tournaments integrating. Development of Dazuru carving through control tournaments integration. This study as policy for marketing strictly policy of long-term sustainable development of Dazuru carving from the process of control tournaments integration. With the practice of China with the operating of China control tourist industry culture, it is that have become an important driver of village economic growth. According to Nation Statistic, domestic tourism open in China reached 562 billion in 2024, showing that tourism has become a key pillar of the service economy. The Dazhuzhou Cavern configuration as the World Cultural Heritage Site have a history of more than 17 years and is among the most outstanding example of Chinese stone carving art. The carving united into the physical ideas of both things, continuity art and tourism, which gives the site sacred and cultural value. However, compared with other from heritage destinations such as Mogoku and Longmen Shiku, the Dazhuzhou Cavern still fear changes in through of better number, tourist taxes and growing pollution. In second years, the sixth experience a temple in tourism is due to the policies of the game back mass Wukong with art my younger tourists. However, when the online people died, vast number of quick did. This statistic showing that the distance stay stable long-term mix and broad influence. Therefore, the key research question of the study is how can the cultural resource of the Dazhuzhou Cavern be transformed into sustainable tourism or trade under from the work of cultural tourism? Besides, online the view and data analysis reaches identities for the meeting publics. First emphasizes cultural interpretation and design. Most West meeting parties in traditional setting view in depends cultural experience, remove limit. Second, over the risk of the short-term internet. British purely as a stronger influence by temple online trades, but there a look of continuous content and product in venues, side weekly attractive of the cultural tourism industry trend. The coordinates between access area and retail industries such as competition and the contract creative product is limited. Cross shortage, interdistinction provenance. There a lack of talents on understanding his protection, promise messages and digital mixture samples to see as issues is processed through dimensional law, trading, cultural IP employment, industry ecosystem, country, and digital technology drive development. Both cultural IP developed. The core cultural future of the Dazhuzhou is integrity of their recent tourism based on unique foundation. At the same time, cultural IP can be through emission, cultural product, and the creation industry cooperation with media and game companies. Second, market and the product image, cultural tourism influence who profit lectures, get importation, and additional younger tourists at Generation Z who profit himself, actors, and the social media from attractive international words who require multiple integrated service and global service culture. That integration broad combination strategy and integration online or offline. Marketing service should be developed. Online promotion canvas and the social media platforms such as Douyin, Xiaohongshu, and Bilibili through different content strategies. Offline promotion can involve with travel agent, host and supporting tourism arsenal to develop and tourist risks. In addition, annual events such as the Dazhuzhou Cavern Culture and the Art Festival can be to stress and the bird visitors. Those policies developed methods in addition to the market, the style and the certificate developed methods. First is integrated product match.
including voice intelligent control and digital monitor to insights and the of control release. Second is com-risk product chain with local certainties tied to the industry mix. This enhances resources of cultural heritage products through exhibition, dietary, and interactive action. In conclusion, the Dazuzu carving increased and several challenges in the process of cultural tourism integration in industry causes, including cultural value transformative depends on short-term online population with industry coordination, by terms and spreading such a cultural IP development must set board commissioner and digital technology app solution. The desktop can enhance its promise. Internet a more such control ecosystem. In the long run, this the strategy can help bridge a balance between cultural heritage protect and the terms and the routine. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay.
Dr. Nurul, please.
Yes. Very nice presentations. My question, Ms. Chang Chang. Okay, so what is the most effective marketing strategy that you found to attract more visitors while you still preserve the set's cultural value in the context of
through
Dazurup survey?
engagement spread, we can achieve such development.
Okay. So what
you.
gaps or my question is that what gaps or limitation exist in current cultural and tourism integration efforts? Okay. Anyway, so next question is how can the cultural heritage value? I'm talking about the religious.
I think as vegetable.
Sorry.
大395头的395。
Yeah, my question is that how can the cultural heritage values, I'm talking about that religious art, history, symbolism, be effectively translated into tourism products and experiences?
More than in September years, one of most outside example of Chinese door carving art.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. With this, I would like to go ahead with our next presenter. Our next presenter is Tajmal Islam, presenting a paper on the title Online Privacy Concern Segments, a cluster analysis of young Indian consumers. I request you, sir, to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Tajamul Islam, and with me is my co-author, Dr. Ruby Chanda, who is also joined. So the topic of our paper is online privacy concern segments, a cluster analysis of young Indian consumers. I am Dr. Tajamul, and with me is Dr. Ruby Chanda. We are from Symbiosis International University, Pune, India. Now, online privacy concerns, it has become an important topic nowadays because of not nowadays, for some time, because of the massive data that is generated by individuals online on a daily basis, and firms are extensively using this data for a number of reasons, and this has led to the negative uh, you know concerns of privacy in from the consumer's point of view. And so the problems that arise from an individual or societal perspective include privacy invasions, vulnerability to fraud, unwanted marketing communication, and also you know uh, apprehensions about manipulation of behavior. From a business perspective, these privacy issues, they may uh, damage the reputation of the brand. They also lead to prevention focused behavior of consumers, where consumers try to hide their information and therefore deny the data or information that is useful for organizations. And it may also lead to direct loss in revenue and data foreclosure and litigation risks. Now, motivation for this study, as I said, marketers are, extensively using the data to tailor their offerings to the customer and customize the products, etc., and in many other ways. Uh, but marketing practice using consumer data and analytics, it has advanced at a much higher pace, more rapid pace than the marketing academic scholarship. And one of the well-known authors in this field, Martin uh, Kelly Martin, she says much of our understanding about privacy across consumer, organizational, and legal ethical domains is limited to US and European samples. Uh, of course, an important missing space involves privacy issues in Eastern, more collectivistic cultural societies such as India and China. So has been comparatively lesser research that is being conducted in India, or which is more or less a collectivistic society. Now, so therefore, that is why we are conducting this study. And why is India important? Because there is a digital explosion in India in the recent years. If you see on the left-hand side, there has been a rapid digital adoption in India. Internet penetration has gone from 4% in 2007 to 50% in 2020. There are 403 million Facebook users by 2025 in India. So all these things, uh, they are fertile grounds for private for online privacy issues. And in India, we have this ID biometric system called Aadhaar, which has further, created public awareness of mass surveillance as well. Now, to deal with online privacy issues, Indian government at different points of time have introduced various regimes. The earliest one was the Informational Technology Act, which was introduced in 2000. This was mostly used to deal with the privacy issues that may arise. Till 2017, this act was used, but obviously this act was insufficient and did not address the modern privacy issues that arise. So therefore, the government, they introduced various bills, and finally, in 2023, Digital Protection and Data Protection Act was passed, and in recently in November 2025, this became an act in India, which specifically dealt with the privacy issues that arise in Indian context. Now, this private for the present study, what were the objectives? The present study aimed to identify segments within Indian youth based on the privacy concerns and suggest a market-driven approach to address privacy concerns that may arise. Basically, this study adopted the segmentation approach as it was one of the earliest frameworks that was used in privacy research by a researcher called Professor Alan Westin. He used this approach on US citizens, and this segmentation approach was the reason that this very popular notice and choice regime, which governs the US internet privacy law, that came into picture. So we are in this study, we are trying to identify similar kind of segments based on the privacy concerns that people have here, particularly the youth in India. Why this privacy segmentation? Because cultural factors may have an impact on the way people see privacy. For example, the information flow, which is considered appropriate in one country, may be seen as a breach of norms in another country. So there are cultural differences in cultural values such as power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty, avoidance, etc. So as I was saying, Professor Alan Weston, he conducted various surveys from 1978 and till 2004, and his studies identified majorly three segments of consumers, which he named as privacy fundamentalists, who were highly bothered by the privacy issues, and second group was privacy pragmatists, who believed that some information is to be given to get the benefit. They were the pragmatists. And the third group was privacy unconcerned people. This group were basically, they were not concerned about any of these online privacy issues. So while firms cannot control culture and demographics, they can structure data plans according to the target segments to manage privacy concerns. What was the methodology for our study? We used a sample of 263 university students, and these students belong to 15 different states of India. The sample consisted of 62.7% millennials, and rest of them were from Generation Z. We used two-stage hierarchical and non-hierarchical cluster analysis to segment the sample into different groups. What were the constructs? The major construct in the study was online privacy concerns, which had three dimensions, sub-dimensions. Concerns about use of online behavioral data, that was the first one with 6 items. Concerns about the collection of information with 4 items, and awareness of privacy practice. This was the third dimension with 3 items. We also used some outcome variables for the purpose of assessing the criterion validity of.
Sorry to disturb you, sir.
Yes.
However, we have crossed the 9-minute mark. I just request you to kindly conclude as soon as possible.
How much time do I have?
Sir, we have crossed our 9-minute mark. Presentations are supposed to be for 10 minutes, sir. So I just
Okay.
request you to kindly conclude.
Okay. So similarly, we had 3 outcome variables for assessing the criterion validity. For each of these variables, the items were adopted from well-known, popular, established scales. So as I said, we did this analysis in 2 stages. In stage 1, we used a hierarchical technique to generate the range of solutions using Ward's method and with squared Euclidean distance as similarity measure. And stage 2, we used non-hierarchical cluster analysis, k-means clustering, to get optimal cluster solution. The results of the cluster analysis are shown here. We basically found there are 3 groups, as in the case of Alan Westin. We had 3 groups which were highly concerned group, moderately concerned, and less concerned. And further, you see the highly concerned group had higher means for all the three dimensions of privacy, while as the less concerned had a lesser, means for all the three dimensions of privacy. And we use these variables, the outcome variables, to identify the difference, and we can see the differences were significant for all three outcome variables. So there are three distinct personas we were able to get, and one shared anxiety was, as you can see in the table, mean score of all the clusters was above 3, which means everybody was concerned. So therefore, there was no one in our sample who was not concerned, but some were more concerned, some were less concerned. First group was the privacy fundamentalist. This consisted of 34.6% of the sample, and it was heavily dominated by millennial males. And these people are highly aware and deeply skeptical about privacy, and they actively monitor privacy policies and views data collection as an inherent risk rather than a fair trade for digital services. Second group is the pragmatic majority. This consisted of 43% of the sample. It consists of a balanced mix, slightly leaning towards older millennials and equal gender split. This is the largest consumer bloc. They evaluate data sharing on a case-by-case basis. They are highly aware of privacy practice, but are willing to engage if the perceived benefit and brand trust outweigh the risk. And the third one is the conditional sharer. This consists of 22.4% of the sample. Mostly it consisted of Generation Z females, and they showed the lowest overall concern, but their baseline score remains still above average. They are the most receptive to data-driven product offerings, but will still react negatively to overt breaches of contextual norms. So if we compare with Weston's, findings and our findings, we more or less we saw similar groups, but in our case we did not find the group called privacy unconcerned. And as I said, everybody was concerned. We could find a group called less concerned, but they were not unconcerned. So our study, by identifying the segments within Indian youth, suggests the market-driven approach, which was advocated by the authors Dolnikar and Jordan for direct marketing. Data-intensive business should segment the market based on consumers' privacy concerns and ideally direct their efforts on the less and moderately concerned consumers. The study suggests that the highly concerned segment consists of predominantly millennial males. Therefore, privacy protection measures should be strictly enforced and communicated when dealing with millennials and older consumers. So that is all from my side. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay, I would like to say very much presentations on online privacy concern segments, a cluster analysis of young Indian customers. So here I want to ask about your, I want to ask that is on what privacy concerns group is the most common among young customers, and what impact does this have on their online behavior?
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat your question?
Okay, I will repeat the questions. What privacy concern groups is the most common among young customers, and what impact does this have on their online behavior?
So if you see the major group in this among these three was the pragmatic majority, which is the group which are they are more or less they are ready to give up some data, but they are also bothered about the privacy issues. So this was the group which formed the majority of the sample. It consists of older millennials, mostly 61% millennials, and with equal number of males and females.
And does this impact on their online behavior?
Can you repeat?
So does this impact on their online behavior?
Yeah, that is not what our in our study, if you see, we did not actually measure their behavior, but yes, on the outcome variables, if you see, the groups which are highly concerned, their perceived their fabrication of personal information is highest. If I can highlight here. So if you see this highly concerned group, their mean for fabricating personal information is highest. Similarly, they use softwares for protection. So that is that is what it explains, that the more concerned you are, the more measures you will use probably. So it is affecting their behavior that way.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tajamul.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Dr. Tajamul.
Yes, sir.
Question is that how can young Indian consumer be clustered based on their perceived vulnerability risk and perceived control over the personal data?
So we have used these three variables, which is a scale for measuring privacy concerns. So based on the responses to these scales, we have divided them into three groups by using hierarchical clustering approach. Hierarchical as well as non-hierarchical.
So in this, in your research work, you have used K-means and which one? Which clustering algorithm?
Hierarchical.
Hierarchical. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The last question is that what are the key dimensions of online privacy concern among the young consumers?
So the key dimensions which we used, one is how much they are aware. That is one of the dimension of privacy, online privacy, awareness about the privacy practices. Second is their concerns about the collection of the information. And third is the concerns about use of the behavioral data. So these three dimensions were actually proposed by a well-known paper by Malhotra. It's a seminal paper in this area. So they identified three sub-dimensions of online privacy concerns. One is awareness about the privacy practice. Second is data collection. And third is use of the data for behavioral,
Because the
reasons.
biggest factor in that, I mentioned the data misuse and surveillance is very important. Yes.
User?
So,
yes.
Data misuse and surveillance and personalization.
Right,
Okay.
right. So that is the first one, concerns about
Thank
use
you.
of. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Before going ahead, I just request all our next participants to kindly be mindful of the time limits, as we have constrained time limitations, and our session chairs also have to ask few questions. So just requesting all of you all to kindly make sure that you're in the limit of 9 minutes for the presentation. I'm calling upon our next presenter for the session, Maxine, who again I'll be asking you to be here for presenting your next paper for the title Perception of the Tourism Destination Image of Nong Khain Border Region, Thailand. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My research topic is portion of the tourism decision imaging of Nong Thai border region, Thailand. And with the international tourism for project 2, it is 300 million in QE and 2025 and market 5 projected year-on-year growth. The growth is primarily defined by asymmetry and the restriction of high network and the phasing of visa process. And Thailand is a project global tourism destination and the 65.54 million international visitor and a general 1.67 trillion baht in tourism rates. And with the mixture with China, Malaysia, and India, and 199 million dollars crab and the Greece 905 billion baht. And Nong Khai is as a key home on the Thailand Launch Board. The national strategy is the first on development regional tourism control and the national sector profits as cross-border help. And the regional and the infrastructure development, Nong Khai is a key node in China, Laos, Thailand, Norway project. And the country strategy is Nong Khai is a largest and developed as a tourism destination. And Western measure use it as a trying point to Western. And so this is a research first is analysis Western coordinate and equation evaluation of Nong Khai and the purposes suggests to enhance its tourism imaging and promote sustainable development. With my research literature field with what's the border tourism, and the border tourism is in for the short-term and the low-cost travel across national borders, and influenced by factors like port relation, economic activity, and the cultural exchange, often country around the port cities and the transportation network. And tourism destination imaging and the tourism destination imaging is the dimension and the subjective portion formed by tourism based on factors like natural landscapes and the control surface quality and the social torsion influenced by person experiences, social media, and the world of mass. And the connection and front stories and the connective affairs stories is a expansion that creates tourism's presentation of a decision shared by both cognitive and evaluational and temperament with both face influence of in-person and future decision. My research design with the data correct with online data, and online data was correct use the trace data from the trip account platform with data related from July 2021 to March 2025. Used the keyword Nong Khai, a total of 391 different kind of word queries. And with the interview is interview with the 25 in the Nong Khai tourism. So my data analysis is for network data analysis through ROST. So was used, and the interview tests were analysis used similar analysis with open code performed in Naval software to identify core question and the natural pattern. Result is in the development of a measurement content imaging analysis framework. So my research result way the first one way to say in Nong Khai what happened and also overview of tourism development in Nong Khai with the location importance is Northeast Thailand on the Mekong River near Winter Laos and the key border hall of trade and commerce since the Thai-Laos Friendship Bridge opened in 1994 and the tourism accounting for 15.5% of local income with the 3.1 million visitors in 2023. And the key attraction with the history is whole moment and local person border and the Thai-Laos Friendship Bridge and the nature is the Mekong River and the headcon main beach. The cultural event is Niga Festival and the Record Festival and the Thai-Laos Border Festival. So the in the Nong Khai Festival Development the influence project is China-Laos Railway and the Thai to China high-speed rail and the port station Nong Khai will as a control tourism hub. With two presentation analysis of Nong Khai's tourism emerging. So first one will to find a high-field world analysis. So for example, Thailand, Laos, local, and temple. So next with the two connection imaging analysis. So Nong Khai's tourism emerging is called border control and microwave culture and across border location advantage. And so way to find the changes is limit expense depend on the annual influences and low is in country sense transformation. So way to next to imaging analysis. So we to see the face or facial table way to find the poster emotion is a visual generate control experience and personally savers higher and the negative emotion is issue identified in transpiration surface and the factor measuring and the information transfers. So basically, we find we have some strategies of in-hand Nong Khai tourism imaging is the define cultural experience and the suffice sense of optimization and networking and border community and cross-border tribal development. So we have a conclusion is the tourism imaging strategy is coordinative conceptual is both on build history control and the Mekong River and across border factual always the important aspect is the positive impression from country experience and the friendly service. But negative imports point to issue like influence across border transport and poor factory maintenance. Also, with the image precision contract, there is a gap between the demand for different country experience and the country force on sickness leading to short stay and low spending. And affecting two projects in the two tourism state Nong Khai as a tourism point, which represent and the point of control well. So we have some strategy with the process strategy is enhance control enhances, improve service and strategy digital marketing and promote cross-border collaboration and both on depend control enhancement, improve service system and building regional control to transform Nong Khai into a control hub. So with future research discussion with applying country immune service to board tourism show the light between country identify and the service quality. Cultural research can try the impact of trade strategy and compare both tourism can across source axis. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Do we have any questions, sir?
Okay. Next, my question is that how does digital content influence the expectation and actual experiences?
Because some people will have get it will support the emotion and the negative emotion. So some people maybe it's like for example, I like there and this is so happy, but nature important is I don't like this and in the space is the information in transfer is so bad. So I will to find this.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, questions, Mr. Chen?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the main perceptions that tourists have about this destination? And how does it influence their decision to visit?
Because the Nong Khai is near Mekong River, and when the Thai people go to Laos, will go the first the city is in Nong Khai, so everyone will think in just go to Nong Khai one point, but not like in Nong Khai to maybe Long Thai. No Long Thai in the Nong Khai. Just to think, I will go China and go to Laos. I will go Nong Khai, go the next city, but not in Nong Khai to tourism. So I think my some suggestion will come to give a Nong Khai government to do something to make the people in the Nong Khai.
Thank you for your answer. Very satisfying.
Thank you. Thank you, question. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Now I would like to call upon our next presenter for this session. Ying Tang presenting a paper on the title, Research on the Current Situation of Tourism Marketing of the Song Dynasty of Kung Fu City. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Ying Tang. Today I will present my research titled the current situation of tourism of marketing of the Song Dynasty of Comfort City. The Song Dynasty of Comfort City is known as Wan Sui Mountain as a cultural tourism or scenic area located in Kaifeng, China. Is themed around the Greater Song martial arts world and combines Song Dynasty culture with martial arts elements. The scenic area offers immersive experience through performances, interaction activities, and cultural events. Marketing is the popular destination for tourists. Let me introduce the research background with the continuous development of the tourism industry. Cultural tourism integration has become an important trend. China is actively promoting the development of cultural tourism destinations in the Henan province.
as one of the creators of Chinese civilization, has rich historical and cultural resources. And this background, the solidarity of Kansas City has developed into a popular cultural tradition. However, this despite its popularity, it still faces several challenges in tourism marketing, which motivated this research. This study has two main objectives. First, to explore the current situation of tourism marketing of the surroundings of Kansas City. Second, the analysis is its tourism marketing environment, especially through the SWOT framework. Next is the literature review. Marketing focuses on creating and delivering value to customers. Tourism marketing applies this principle to tourism destinations and services with a strong emphasis on experience, emotion, and customer satisfaction. Cultural tourism integrates refers to the combination of tourism resources with tourism activities. It shifts tourism from a simple sightseeing to immersive cultural experiences, enhancing tourists' participation and emotional connection. A SWOT analysis is a widely used strategic tool. It evaluates both internal and external environments. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors, opportunities and threats are external factors. It provides a clear framework for analyzing marketing strategies. This study develops a qualitative research approach. Data were collected through secondary data field observation, in-depth interviews. SWOT analysis was applied to evaluate the internal and external environment. It helps identify the current marketing situation and the key challenges. Now let me introduce the case study. The surroundings of Kansas City is located in Kaifeng, China, which was the capital of the northern surroundings. Is the greatest martial arts world. It integrates the surroundings culture and martial arts culture, combines culture, entertainment, and tourism is a typical example of cultural tourism attraction in China. The scenic area recreates surroundings like life and historical scenes, providing a strong immersive environment. Visitors can actively participate in the various activities, which increases interaction and engagement. It combines performance, culture, and entertainment, making it especially attractive to young tourists. At the same time, it supports the development of local cultural tourism. Now let me briefly introduce the main tourism activities in the scenic area. First, the scenic area offers a variety of live performances, including martial arts shows and historical dramas. Second, there are outdoors
interaction activities such as popular matchmaking introduce partner for men and women. Third, the scenic area provides role-play experience where visitors can wear traditional costumes and act as child actors. Plus, there are various cultural festivals and themed events held regularly. Finally, the scenic area also focuses on night tourism activities such as traditional Chinese light shows and evening performances. Now I will present the SWOT analysis strengths. First, the scenic area has a strong cultural theme and clear brand identity. Second, it provides immersive experiences which enhance visitor participation. Third, its content is highly suitable for social media dissemination. Finally, its benefit from carbon-rich cultural resources. Weaknesses, however, there are also some weaknesses. The scenic area lacks a long-term branding strength and relies too much on short-term popularity. Marketing segmentation is insufficient, and different tourist groups are not clearly targeted. In addition, cultural interpretation is relatively superficial, and there is a risk of product homogeneity.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. However, we have completed the 9-minute mark. I request you to kindly conclude as soon as possible, please.
Okay. There are several opportunities. Government policies support cultural tourism integration. There is growing demand for experiential tourism. Digital media platform provides new marketing channels, and young customers shows strong interest interaction experiences. In conclusion, the Solidarity of Kansas City has successful developed a cultural tourism model based on solidarity and martial arts culture. Its immersive experiences greatly enhance visitor engagement and attractiveness. However, there are still challenges, especially in long-term breeding and culture depth. For future development, several improvements are suggested. Changes long-term branding, building developed digital and social media marketing, improve marketing segment development, cultural storytelling, enhance product innovation. Thank you for my listening. This is for my presentation.
Okay, very nice topic. I ask only a simple question. Ms. Xintang, yeah. So my questions is which marketing strategy has been the most effective so far? And what is one improvement you would suggest for the current tourism marketing?
It needs to start from short-term popularity to long-term branding and continuous invitation.
And what is your suggestions maybe for the next research? on marketing strategy.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is that what are the strengths and weaknesses of these existing marketing efforts? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Now I would like to call upon our next presenter. Our next presenter is Lankapalli Vamsi Krishna, presenting a paper on the title Thematic Evolution of Generative and Agentic AI in Operations and Supply Chain Systems, 2015 to 2025, a bibliometric analysis. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Hi all, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, hi, good afternoon everyone. I Vamsi Krishna. Currently we go through the titled The Thematic Evolution of Generative and Agentic AI in Operation and Supply Chain System. And it is a basic bibliometric analysis from the year 2015 to 2025. And we next move to the next slide. And currently the introduction is going on with landscape and research gap and with the research questions. The landscape is AI in reshaping intelligence supply networks and LLMC reinforcement learning and agentic architecture. And primarily the research gap that we undergo is despite rapid scholarly growth, the structural evolution and the thematic consolidation of generative and agentic AI in operations remains insufficiently mapped. Whereas to distinguish with the research gap, we followed these three research questions. That is, how has scientific production of generative and agentic AI research evolved between 2015 to 2025 is the first question. And second is what intellectual structure and thematic cluster categorized the field, and how, and final question is how has the field transitioned from simulation based to AI driven ecosystem, that means automation. And next we moving back to the research methodology that we undergone is we taken the Scopus database of 116 peer reviewed articles and some filtrations like language oriented, otherwise English oriented, and articles and review types. And the data set we taken is 116 documents and 18 unique source titles, and 372 others have been contributed, and the annual growth rate is 26.63 percentage, and average citation per document is 90.87. And we used analytical tools like bibliometric R package plus biblioshine interface, performance indicator plus science mapping techniques, and the techniques like Bradford's law and keyboard co-occurrence network and thematical centrality, density analysis, longitudinal time slice, evaluation of 3 periods we have taken. In similarly, we'll see the year. And the publication trend, like from 2015 to 2025, the rapid growth has been visualized on the screen, that 160 Scopus articles, that 89 unique source titles, and contributed others are of 372. When we see overall growth rate was 26.63 is their annual growth rate per year, and per document 19.87 is the citation score. Next, source distribution and the Bradford's law. What Bradford's law describes is in three variations in zone 1. It's a core line. 5 journals have been taken the 33% of articles, and second is mid range, and it's also 14 journals have been taken to second path, and zone 3 peripheral, it's of 17 journals of taken the remaining percentage. And here we see the source distribution, how it's taken place. And next we go into the next slide. In here, intellectual architecture of the field that cluster, it's varied in cluster wise in 3 clusters. The first one is computational methods and autonomous agent. And second one is AI plus supply chain decision making. And third one is reinforcement learning and intellectual agents. These clusters are explained in the way of segmental of cluster wise in three ways as we seen on screen. And now the thematic maturity, and we have taken the centrality and density framework. In there is high centrality and high density is for a motor theme like computational method and autonomous agents and supply chain. And when we see in Nashi theme, low centrality and high density with intelligent agents and agentic AI and commerce risk assessment, and declining path when we see supply chain network and location and renewable energies, and when basic themes like high centrality and low density, artificial intelligence and decision making, supply chain management have been taken. Now, when we go back to the longitudinal thematic evolution, how the thematic evolution has been taken place. Earlier, we have seen the 3 stages, that is 2015 to 2018 is the first phase. In the agent-based simulation has been undergone in structural optimization, and in phase 2, 2019 to 2021 has been taken machine learning and reinforcement learning in the orientation of adaptive intelligence. And in the phase 3 is the final one when we conclude it 2022 to 2025. The method is generative and agentic AI, and its orientation of autonomous. Here we see the agent based to generative is a transformation and evaluation of it. And now what we get from it is key findings and structural transformation is domain consolidation. What does it mean? Means research output increasingly concerns with core engineering and operation journals. That the Bradford law confirms a stabilization intellectual core, a significant structural maturity. And the second key finding is integration of modeling and learning system. And the final key findings are emergence of agentic and generative AI as core drivers. That means automation. Next, going back to the implication and future research direction, these implications are engineering and engineering was a hybrid architecture merging simulation and reinforcement learning and agent orchestration, real-time adaptability and self-optimization logistics network. And next is the decision intelligence, which shifts from predictive to prescriptive and autonomous execution, multi-agent coordination, reduces dependency on centralized control. And the research is moved from the algorithm development to the architectural integration, human AI governance, and ethical development grow critical. And the future directions of the theme is integration of LLM into real-time supply chain coordination platform and multi-agent reinforcement learning for decentralized operations and human AI collaboration models in operation environment, and explainable AI and adaptability for autonomous industrial systems, whereas empirical validations of AI-enabled operational ecosystem. And finally, I am concluding this in summary that the study prescribed a bibliometric analysis of 116 Scopus index articles from 2015 to 2025, examining thematic evolution of generative and agentic AI in operations and supply chain system using Bradford's law and keyword co-occurrence mapping, centrality density framework, and longitudinal time slice analysis. And we can conclude this in three ways. That is a rapid scholarly growth. That means of 26.63 is the annual growth rate we seen in the graph. And the distinct thematic shift is agent-based simulation to machine learning and machine learning to autonomous and generative AI. And the final foundational transformation, that means generative AI and agentic AI transforms operational research from static optimization to self-directed intelligence. That's all for now. Thank you. Any queries, please kindly.
Session chairs, do we have any questions?
Okay. Okay, my question is that how generative AI is different from traditional AI?
The generative AI, that means which generates the content oriented, and traditional AI that operates and simulates the data.
Okay, and how are the concepts such as autonomous agents, LLM-based decision system, and generative optimization shaping the field? What's your perspective?
Sir, that means it's a rapid growth, sir. When we see the stages from phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3, it's leveling up the strength of it. Automatically, it's leveling up and upgrading by itself.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Dr. Hari, do we have any questions from your end?
Okay. Maybe it's very simple questions because it's about AI generalization, yeah. So what distinguishes generative AI from traditional AI in operation management?
Sorry, sir. Pardon, please.
So what is the difference between generative AI
Yes, sir.
and traditional
And
AI
agentic
in the
AI.
operational management?
Operational management. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now I would like to call upon our last presenter for this session. Isha Bhagat presenting a paper on the title, A Review of Worker Safety Assurance and Automated Industrial Quality Inspection and the Proposed AI-Powered System. I request you to kindly take over with your presentation, please.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Yes.
Great. So imagine a factory floor where a single missed helmet or a tiny unnoticed defect can lead to a serious injury, production loss, or even fatal accidents. Despite strict regulations, industry safety and quality checks still rely heavily on manual supervision, making them slow, inconsistent, and difficult to scale. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Isha Bhagat from Cummins College of Engineering for Women, Pune, India. Today, I will be presenting a work titled A Review of Worker Safety Assurance and Automated Industrial Quality Inspection and the Proposed AI Power System. In the next 10 minutes, I will demonstrate how our research addresses this critical challenge by introducing an intelligent scalable solution for real-time safety and monitoring across industrial environments. The goal is simple yet powerful. And detect potential risks on the shop floor instantly, reduce human error, and enable smarter industrial decision making using AI. This is important because the industrial environments are high risk and high precision. Where even small lapses can have large scale consequences, human, operational, and financial. According to the existing research in the area pertaining to worker safety and machinery monitoring, most existing systems focus either on safety or quality, not both, like real-time multi-camera scalability, do not integrate identity tracking or actionable alerts. Traditionally, safety has relied on manual supervision, PP enforcement, and safety management systems. While effective to an extent, these approaches suffer from human error, lack of continuous monitoring, and limited scalability. These limitations highlight a clear need for real-time scalable, and unified system that integrates both worker safety monitoring and machine quality inspection. Studies show that machine learning models and deep learning models, such as convolution neural networks, can achieve over 90% accuracy in identifying unsafe operating conditions for machinery and PPE compliance issues. So the next step was to systematically explore and compare different object detection techniques to determine which model performed the best for both of our problems. Sorry. We evaluated a range of models across increasing levels of complexity, starting with traditional approaches like HOG with linear SVM, which rely heavily on handcrafted features. While classes with larger samples have been detected decently with this technique, classes with smaller samples are less distinctive and have poor recall. Then we moved on to faster RCNN, which is a deep learning based detector. It is a two-stage detector basically, which is known for its high accuracy but slow inference. Despite better performance compared to HOG plus SVM, there's still a confusion among small or similar looking machine components, which suggests that fine-grained details are still missing despite deep feature learning. Hence, we moved on to a single-stage detector like Night, which balances speed and accuracy. However, some small machinery parts are misclassified, especially in the low-frequency classes. RetinaNet can distinguish between boots and helmets with ease, but frequently makes mistakes when attempting to differentiate between gloves and the lack of them. And finally, YOLO V11, which is optimized for real-time high-speed detection. The YOLO-based detectors use single-stage detection technique. YOLO V11 has improved the strategy even more by increasing the precision with the preservation of quick computation speeds. The confusion matrix for YOLO V11 shows that most of the objects are correctly identified with a few mistakes. This is observed by a strong diagonal line across the confusion matrix that shows the model has learned how to discriminate each object apart and has been able to locate them, even when the object is a very tiny component. The goal was to identify a model that is not just accurate, but also fast, scalable, and practical for industrial deployment. To ensure a fair and realistic evaluation, we trained and tested these models on two carefully selected data sets, which aligned with one of our problem verticals. For worker safety monitoring, we used the PP RIGS PDS data set from RoboFlow, consisting of approximately 2,900 label images. These images capture real-world industrial scenarios with multiple workers, varying light conditions, and different camera angles, and also partial occlusions. For machine quality inspection, we use the checkpoint detection dataset containing around 2,800 images of industrial components such as wiring, connectors, and labels. For standardized training, images were resized to 640 by 640 pixels, and the auto orientation was applied. We further refined the dataset by adding custom annotations and applied augmentations such as low light simulation, motion blur, and occlusion handling. This ensured our models could generalize well to real factory conditions. After training all models on these datasets, we conducted a comparative evaluation based on key metrics such as mean average precision, MAP, precision, and recall, which clearly showed that YOLO V11 was the best suitable model for application due to its balanced performance. In addition to using object detection, we also used face recognition and PPE module on top of our YOLO V11. With face recognition, PPE compliance is no longer anonymous. Each worker safety behavior is monitored and logged, promoting accountability, preventing lapses, and fostering a culture of safety in industrial environments. After comparing classical techniques as well as modern deep learning techniques, we ended up using ArcFace, a deep learning face model to recognize faces once YOLO identifies them. It is a state-of-the-art face recognition technique that has become the new standard for training objective for current face recognition systems. It is an embedding-based face recognition model where deep convolution neural networks learn a compact numerical representation for each facial image, which is called an embedding. In embedding based approaches, the system does not store direct images. Instead, it creates an embedding vector from the facial image, which is then stored and used for further processing. This project protects people's privacy as the facial images of the person are not shown, and vector-based method is used. So this is our proposed workflow. Based on the research and findings, we ultimately propose the following system: a two-pronged web application which signifies two significant problems that are usually noticed in the industrial setting. The first is the PPE compliance tracking. Industrial settings demand that employees wear certain personal protective equipment, which is PPE, like helmets, vests, gloves, goggles, footwear, etc., and to protect themselves from any potential danger. For each frame, person detection is accomplished using YOLO 11 model, and subsequent face recognition of that person is accomplished by ARC-face model. If there is any PPE violation by the worker, the system will label a violation and assign it to the worker's identity. A summary of the worker's identity will be created along with the output frames that display the bounding boxes. The violation summary will be emailed to the administrator, and the dashboard is updated with the latest data. Key parameters such as number of workers detected, the number of workers wearing appropriate safety gear compared to those who were not, and the nature of the violations and when and where they were occurred based on the camera location or work zone are recorded. The second part of the AI-based machine component quality checking. In manufacturing, the quality checking of machine components like wiring, screws, stickers, connectors, and assembly units is done manually by human eyes, leading to a slow and sometimes inaccurate process. In our system, the user uploads a video by capturing all machine components. The video is processed through a pipeline where frames are extracted, pre-processed, and passed to the trained YOLO 11 model for inspection. The model verifies presence of components against a predefined checklist, and any missing checkpoints trigger an alert to the administrator and a report being recorded in the database for dashboard analysis. Data such as number of inspection points that were inspected for a particular machine, the number of components that passed and failed the inspection, the types of defects discovered, and the defect rate per production line, product or time period is recorded. After running the detection models, the system aggregates all the results from both the PPE monitoring and the quality inspection applications and presents them in a summarized form that first goes to the SQL database in the backend and then goes to the Tableau dashboard. Older data is removed as and when needed by the timer set by the admin to allow for newer data.
Sorry to interrupt. I just request you, ma'am, to kindly conclude as soon as possible as we have crossed the 9-minute mark.
Yeah, just concluding. So our system creates an impact across 3 dimensions: social, financial, and for the workforce. Social because it results in safer workplaces, fewer accidents, and improved worker well-being. Financial because it results in lower downtime, reduced losses, and improved productivity. And a solution positively impacts the workforce as it directly results in reduced exposure to risky tasks and new opportunities in AI-driven roles. To conclude, our research presents a scalable, real-time AI solution that integrates safety, compliance, and machine quality inspection. To bring this to a close, our research shows that our solution moves industries from reactive monitoring to proactive intelligence. A missing helmet or a machine defect does not go unnoticed, but rather every worker is accounted for, compliance is tracked in real time, and risks are reduced before they even turn into accidents. In essence, technology isn't replacing vigilance, it amplifies it, making our factories safer for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions, sir?
Okay. Usisha, just tell me one thing. How do you handle the missing data in dataset?
So in the missing data, a few of the data set was like annotated by us. So we use self-annotation or whatever. So because we were working with an industry, whatever was missing, we actually conducted field visits to get the data that was missing. And in terms of like computer vision and figuring out whatever frames are missing, we just cleaned them out or used some kind of like we were also handling occlusions, right? So if something was covered or something that some image was some part of the machinery was obstructed by view, during actual testing, we tried to fill it up by a frame surrounding whatever was going on.
Okay, last question. That what are the risks associated with the face verification? If you're talking about the travel sector.
So the risk associated with the face recognition was, the first thing was that if the data gets leaked, or it can hamper the privacy of the workers. That is why we used an embedding based model where the worker's identity is not stored. It's a the face embedding is stored. So it's stored in a vector form. So even if I upload my face to the system for identification or verification, my image is not stored. All the or like all the sides of my face that I have to put in for identification, they are not stored. They are stored in a single vector with just my worker identity number, not even the
Okay.
name. So that was
Good.
what we tried.
Thank you. Good.
Thank you so much, sir. Any more questions?
Yeah, questions. Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for your clear presentations. One question I asked, how does real-time PBA violation detections improve workplace safety?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question and get it?
Okay. So how does real-time PBA violations detections improve workplace safety?
Okay, so here we went through a lot of past data where we saw that a lot of the workforce accidents that happen were due to a misplaced helmet or gloves that were not being worn or shoes that were not being worn. So it was maybe in a chemical setting, so where even vests or overalls were very important and people were not wearing them because it wasn't enforced, or they were just removing it for even 1 or 2 minutes. So that was a time frame within which an incident or an accident occurred. Not necessarily it was fatal by any chance, but still, it was still an incident that was recorded. So we wanted to make sure that even if there is a slight fraction, there's a slight fraction of time where a worker is not wearing or not complying to these PP regulations, then the administration must at least know that this violation has occurred. So then the administrator will enforce it and make sure that the incident or an accident does not occur.
Okay, thank you very much for your explanations and good luck for your next papers, if possible, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
sir.
ma'am. With this, we come to the end of our session. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope the session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during this 11th version and all the previous 10 versions of this conference. We will be happy to have you in the 12th version in 2027. All presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. The publication will be live within 7 to 8 months. Kindly cooperate with the team of ICTIS 2026. I would also like to thank our session chairs today. Thank you so much for joining in, sirs, and giving us your guidance while your wisdom and your questions. This is a token of appreciation from the team of ICTIS for both our chairs. As ma'am is not available, however, this is the token of appreciation from IC team for ma'am and for sir.
Miss Prasi, thank you for the prayer. Hopefully, gonna be professor.
Yes, sir. Okay. And this is for
Yeah.
Professor Satish Banet. Sir, thank you so much for your presence. Any last words from both of you all before we close the session?
So I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all the presenters for their valuable contributions and the provoking research. So mostly I want to say that the diversity of the topics and the depth of the analysis shared today have significantly enriched our understanding and will undoubtedly inspire further scholarly dialogue and collaboration. And thanks, Rashi. Thanks to ICTIS. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Hari, any
Okay.
Thank you,
maybe my
Dr.
closing
Hari.
remark. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Satish.
very nice
Yeah,
meeting to
thank
you.
for all of the authors to present their papers. You know, by presenting the papers, it show us how deep we understand about the papers and also how well we construct our future papers. So this is for the opportunity to be the chair session. Thank you, Ms. Prasi, for handling us, yeah, in this session.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable presence. Now, I just request all of you all to please switch on to your cameras so that we can have a quick snapshot of this virtual session we just attended. All the participants, I request you to kindly please switch on to your cameras. Thank you so much. Stay safe and have a blessed year ahead. Thank you so much. We'll be meeting in the next year, 2027, with our 12th edition of this conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Satish, sorry, can I say something, Dr. Satish?
Sir is actually
Oh,
not
Dr.
here.
has left.
Yes, he just
So,
left.
Miss Prashi, are you teaching in university?
No. I'm just hosting this session, sir.
The whole session. So, what is your interest of your research, Miss Prashi?
I actually am not researching anything, sir. I am a part of this ICT, basically hosting this event. That's it.
Oh, hosting for this.
Yes,
Oh, I'm
that's
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you know, one of the purpose of me and also the groups of the authors of this paper is that we are going to have the very close communication and also maybe collaboration for the next paper research. So, Miss Pasi, if you are if you are want to improve for the next level of achievement in educations, maybe we can collaborate in the paper. We have too many papers, but what like from us is the international author. Maybe someday if you are interested with joining us in the paper, we just put the names so that this is for the sake of internalizations of the article as well.
I understand,
Okay,
sir.
thank
So
you,
basically
Miss
contacting each
Prasi.
other. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can I leave?
Yes, please, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you so much. Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, good evening.